Finally, the first trailer for Stranger Things Season 5 has been released, and it revealed important details about the end of the series. Also, they finally give us clues about the connection between Will and Vecna. I'll tell you all about that here. Today on Charlietales, we will talk about the new Stranger Things teaser scene by scene. Ready? Let's begin. The trailer begins with Joyce talking to Will. She tells him that she always thinks about the night he disappeared. From here, they show us many scenes from the entire series, reminding us of the journey so far. I won't talk about all of this because they are old scenes. Let's move on to the new material. We start with this scene in a barn. Here we see several key characters. First, Joyce is armed with an axe, ready to attack. Apparently a monster is about to come through the door. Here on the left is Will. On the right is Robin. And here in the middle is Erica, Lucas's little sister. This character above is called Derek, and he is a new kid who appears in other scenes of the trailer. We'll talk about him later. We move to another image, and we can see Holly, Mike's little sister. She is very scared next to her mother. The trailer doesn't give us more context, but thanks to leaks, we know that Holly will be very relevant in the new season. It has been revealed that the second episode of the season will be titled The Disappearance of Holly Wheeler, and it will be about how Vecna manages to capture her by appearing in his human form. In this photo, we can see Holly next to Vecna, and in this leaked video, we can see Holly wearing a dress similar to Alice in Wonderland's. The idea of the episode is that Vecna will use his powers to trap her in a place similar to that story. That's why Holly wears clothes similar to Alice's. We move on to this scene of Lucas with Max. Let's remember that Max ended up in a coma at the end of last season. Well, with this image, they confirm that she won't wake up for a long time. Let's remember that the new season will take place a couple of years after the previous one. Therefore, Max will be asleep for a long time. Here there are several interesting references. For example, this drawing is the same one Max gave to Lucas at the end of season 4. There is also a radio on the table. This is because the radio is playing Max's favorite song. This is a way to defend against Vecna. As long as the song plays, Max will be protected, and Vecna won't be able to get close to her. We move to this image of Dustin with Steve in the upside down. They are looking at something in the sky. Perhaps the most interesting thing is that Dustin has bruises on his face. Someone hit him. This matches leaked info from the season. For a while now, photos have been released showing Jason's friends bothering our protagonists. Let's remember that Jason and his friends were bullies in the previous season. But then Jason died during Vecna's last attack. With this context, it's clear that Jason's friends will keep bothering our protagonists. That's why Dustin is hurt. Many may be wondering, where is Eddie Munson? Let's remember that he died last season because of Vecna, and many of us hoped he would come back somehow. In the current trailer, there is no mention of him. But thanks to leaked photos, we know some interesting details. For example, in this photo, Dustin is standing on Eddie's grave, but if we look closely, we'll notice that the tombstone has been vandalized. Someone wrote the phrase, "burn in hell." This is because, for the town of Hawkins, Eddie wasn't a hero. Everyone blamed him for Vecna's deaths. The town blamed Eddie and his friends, arguing that they had a satanic cult called Hellfire. So Eddie sacrificed himself for a town that ended up hating him. This vandalized grave confirms that everyone hates him. In fact, I would dare say that Dustin will be beaten up because of this. He will defend Eddie, but Jason's friends will attack him. Moving on to another scene, we see Eleven screaming in pain, and Hopper is next to her. Everything seems to indicate that Eleven is suffering a mental attack. Unfortunately, there isn't much context in the image, but what we do know is that Eleven and Hopper will spend a lot of time together this season. We know this from several photos that have been released. We move on to this image of two characters standing in front of a sort of wall. They are Eleven and Hopper. Some told me this girl is Max, but that's not true. I'm sure it's Eleven because in this poster, she's wearing the same clothes as in the scene. And as for Hopper, he's easy to identify by the shape of his body and his tall height. But what is this wall? There are many theories. The first is that this is the limit of the Upside Down. Many people think that this dark world is actually quite small. Its extension only covers the area of Hawkins. This is quite interesting because it would suggest that this town is even more special than we thought. Many of us believe that the Upside Down originated the terrifying events of the town, but maybe it was the other way around. Hawkins itself is a rather dark place, and its darkness originated the Upside Down. But of course, this is just a theory. In the image, we can also notice a sort of egg. Most likely, this is a Demogorgon egg, or from some creature of the place. According to theories, it is on this wall where Demogorgons and other creatures of the Upside Down originate. We move on to this scene in a military bunker. Several soldiers are pointing at something that is trying to come in from the ground. This scene connects to the one here, where we see Mike protecting some kids. But in this scene, the monster has already managed to come in and is attacking. We know this because on the left, there's a fallen soldier. That means the creature already eliminated the military personnel. In the previous photo, we can also notice new characters. There are 3 kids we don't know. According to leaks, the military bunkers will serve as a refuge for the kids from Hawkins, which is why they are here. Many believe that these kids will be the new generation of Stranger Things, and this season will introduce them so that they become new protagonists in the future. Focusing a bit on Derek, in the photo of the barn we could see him up high. This detail makes us think he will be a victim of Vecna. Remember that Vecna attacks his victims by lifting them into the air. It's also possible that Derek is just standing on a platform or something like that. But what do you all think? The teaser ends with Will extremely terrified and yelling at someone to run. We don't get more context, but thanks to leaks, we know he's talking to Steve. I'll show you the leaked video. With this context, we know Will is warning Steve about an imminent threat. But what is he referring to? It could be something simple like a monster from the upside down. However, I have a more interesting theory. If we look at Will's face, we'll notice he's suffering. His scream is desperate, and his face gives the impression that he is holding something back. I have a theory that in this scene, Will is transforming into something. We're talking about a demonic creature from the upside down. Or maybe he will just be controlled by Vecna. This isn't a new idea. For a long time, many fans have had the theory that Will be used by Vecna. From the start of the series, it was established that Will is someone special. Many of us even believe that Will die this season. The series began with him, so it should end with him. The previous theory gains more weight if we look at these production photos. In them we see that Will is looking up at the sky. This means that at various moments, he will have hallucinations, just like in the first seasons. I'm sure that Will and Vecna will be connected. The previous theory matches with this image from the trailer. If we look closely, we'll see Joyce hugging Will. Something happened to our boy, and that's why he looks extremely tired. This scene probably happens after Will contained the monster inside him. To end, the video reveals that the season will be divided into 3 parts. Volume 1 will arrive on November 26th. The second part will be on December 25th. And the grand finale will come on December 31st. An important detail is that this final part will consist of only one very long episode. That's all for today. If you liked the video, you'd really help me out by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also, remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.